Maroon 5 anchored the Super Bowl 53 halftime show, both by being the main performers and by serving as deadweight Big Boy and Travis Scott were forced to carry. The highlight for Twitter comedy, train wreck purposes or lowlight for all other purposes, was Adam Levine stripping to his waist, revealing the sort of tattoo artistry that would make the guy with a mostly blue face that used to work at my hometown Walmart shake his head. Here, for example, Adam Levine is tattooed like he's the main character in Memento, but the mystery is where he left his jewel. Pic.twitter.com/fxbacksofansk, Amanda Smith, at AmandaTubbs, February 4, 2019. Levine's poor decision to show off decades of other, and somehow poorer, decisions led to an array of viewer complaints to the FCC, as procured and compiled by both Deadspin and SB Nation. Amusingly, and delightfully, many of the complaints seem to actually be a referendum on the inherent double standards applied to Levine and Janet Jackson, whose nipple also made a much briefer appearance during a Super Bowl halftime show, and whose career was damaged over it. Some of them seem like they were from people equally offended in both instances, but others are clearly from viewers offended only by the unequal reception to both bare-chested moments. Here are some of those. Via SB Nation's James Dater, in 2004, CBS was fined $550,000 for airing what has become known as the nipple slip. In 2019, CBS aired Adam Levine removing his shirt exposing both nipples. This must be dealt with in a similar manner, or the double standard must be made public. Adam Levine, lead singer for the Maroon 5, took his shirt off, exposing his breasts and nipples. I believe that, when this happened to a woman in 2004, Janet Jackson, a complaint was lodged and CBS was fined $550,000. I would expect the same enforcement here. It is completely unacceptable for you to allow Adam to show his nipples at the halftime show for the Super Bowl and to fine Janet Jackson. Either fine Adam twice as much or apologize to Janet and reimburse her. Janet got fined $1 million and her career was ruined over an accident. Adam Levine willingly shows everything except his crotch. That is unacceptable. How do I explain this to my children? You can view every complaint here, or via pictures as compiled by Barry Petchesky at Deadspin, which would give more of an overall flavor. For example, here's a complaint that seems completely genuine in its outrage. Adam Levine showed his nipples during the halftime show. It was crude, offensive, and morally repugnant. Should be investigated and CBS should be fined for showing such a corrupt and sinful act. Such a showing was indecent and Adam Levine should not be allowed on broadcast or cable television. And then there were some that were clearly more of the total joke variety. Do we really need to see partial nudity during a Super Bowl halftime show? Does it really need to be Adam Levine? Think of the children. Think of the future of our country. If we must learn something from this experience, pointing out the hypocrisy inherent to the Janet Jackson incident is certainly a worthy outcome. Former CBS exec Les Moonves went to appalling lengths to hurt Jackson's career in the aftermath of the wardrobe malfunction. Moonves ordered Viacom Properties, VH1 and MTV, and all Viacom-owned radio stations, to stop playing Jackson's songs and music videos. The move had a huge impact on sales of her album, Damita Jo, which was released in March 2004, just a month after the Super Bowl. It didn't end there, either. 7 years after the 2004 incident, Moonves told several sources he was furious when he found out Jackson had signed a book deal with Simon. He told another source that heads were going to roll as a result of the deal. It seems unlikely that Levine is going to face anything more harmful to his career than a few jokes about his tattoos. Nor should he, obviously, but the double standard is real. That should probably be more of a discussion, and if it takes a trove of FCC complaints to push that forward, so be it. SB Nation, Deadspin, CBS. Jim Jackson is finally going to be calling NCAA tournament games on television this year, and his March Madness starts on Wednesday night. by Shlomo sprung on March 20, 2019. Streaming. Those surveyed by Deloitte averaged 3 streaming service subscriptions, but many weren't thrilled with the numbers of services they had to subscribe to get what they want. That's worth noting for sports, considering the fragmentation in the sports streaming landscape. By Andrew Buchholz on March 20, 2019. Gambling. The management services provider for 2 West Virginia sports books and the state's online betting app is in a dispute with a third-party technology vendor, which means those books won't be able to offer early round March Madness betting. By Jay Rigdon on March 20, 2019. NBC. Patrick's previous broadcasting experience includes working on Fox NASCAR Xfinity Series telecasts and hosting the ESPYs. By Andrew Buchholz on March 20, 2019. ESPN. After more than a year of legal wrangling, asset maneuvering, and even some international intrigue, Disney's deal too. By Jay Rigdon on March 20, 2019. Viewing picks. NCAA tournament continues with the second half of the first 4 and MLB begins the season in Japan early in the morning. By Ken Fang on March 20, 2019. CBS. Jim Jackson is finally going to be calling NCAA tournament games on television this year, and his March Madness starts on Wednesday night. By Shlomo sprung on March 20, 2019. Streaming. Those surveyed by Deloitte averaged 3 streaming service subscriptions, but many weren't thrilled with the numbers of services they had to subscribe to get what they want. That's worth noting for sports, considering the fragmentation in the sports streaming landscape. By Andrew Buchholz on March 20, 2019. Gambling. The management services provider for 2 West Virginia sports books and the state's online betting app is in a dispute with a third-party technology vendor, which means those books won't be able to offer early round March Madness betting. By Jay Rigdon on March 20, 2019. NBC. Patrick's previous broadcasting experience includes working on Fox NASCAR Xfinity Series telecasts and hosting the ESPYs. By Andrew Buchholz on March 20, 2019. ESPN. After more than a year of legal wrangling, asset maneuvering, and even some international intrigue, Disney's deal too. By Jay Rigdon on March 20, 2019. Viewing picks. NCAA tournament continues with the second half of the first 4 and MLB begins the season in Japan early in the morning. By Ken Fang on March 20, 2019.